So the 2014 A-level question, guys, had paper had 2 questions from unit number 2. It was one of the easiest papers. Remember, in unit number 1 also there were 2 questions in the 2014 paper. Okay, so they had this and this and this and this, and then they had another question, question number 4, asking for something else. Right? It's very easy. We'll try to finish both of these today. Then we have done 5 questions today. Okay. So can you quickly give me answers, guys? We'll try to finish this in 20 minutes so that we can finish the class. Okay. What are the factors that determine the market demand for mobile phones? What can you say? Can you quickly give me? Now they're giving 5 marks, so you'll have to give 5 points. Can you give me some factors? So you can say, okay, price of the mobile phone. What else? What else determines the demand for mobile phones? Price of complementary goods, right? You can say price of complementary goods like what? Like the SIM card, right? Maybe data packages, okay? The back cover, yeah, you can give those. What else? Future price expectation. Now remember these in my example when I was teaching this in the theory class. What did I tell? Remember the iPhone story? That if the people expect the price of iPhone to go down, what do? They don't buy it now, no? So future price expectations. Substitutes. Okay, you can give price of substitutes, but you have to give an example, guys. Substitutes like what? What are substitutes of a mobile phone? Maybe laptops, maybe tabs, right? Things like that. Okay. What else? Okay, you can give brand name also, but not a main point. But yeah, never mind. Brand name. This goes under other factors. Yes, number of buyers. Consumer taste. Okay. So consumer taste and preferences. Remember, like something like the iPhone, high brand name, right? Consumer taste and preferences. Here you can maybe, for example, under this you can say brand name, because some people, why do they like the iPhone and all? Because of the brand. Okay, so number of buyers is number of consumers. Yes, you can say income of buyers also good. Yes, that's another one. Income of buyers. These can be the points, guys. These are very simple ones, but remember, usually when they give you the name of a product, try to relate your factors to that product rather than just saying price of complementary goods. What are the complementary goods for mobile phone? That is SIM, data packages, voice packages, right? The back cover, whatever nonsense is your complementary thing. Right. Going to the next. What are the main factors influencing the direct relationship between the price and quantity supply? What are the factors? What are the 2 reasons for the law of supply? What is one? Okay, so the first one you can say is the profit motive, or you can say the profitability of the product. What happens here, guys? What happens in the profit motive? No, income effect, substitution effect is for demand, not quantity supplied. So second one is the law of increasing marginal opportunity cost. How does this work, guys? So think and tell me now. I'm not going to explain this word by word. You can write an answer based on what is there in your theory notes. So how does this explain a direct relationship, guys? What happens? When the price of a product increases, while all other factors are held constant. So what are the other factors? Other factors like cost, technology, whatever, right? When all the other factors, right? So I'll just say other factors are held constant, what happens? Yes, guys, this you will have to explain because they're asking for 5 marks. So for 5 marks, you can't just say profit motive and this, they're not going to give you 5 marks. Yeah. So even though the word is what, think 5 marks. So you'll have to go a little bit in detail and explain. So when the price of product increases, while all other factors remain constant, what happens? The amount of profit that you can earn goes up, no? Let's say everything else is same, cost and everything is else same. The price of the product has gone up means now you can make a higher profit from that good. So then what happens? Producers in a market economy are motivated by this profit. As a result, what do? Producers who are motivated by the profit, they go and increase their quantity supply. So price increases, quantity supplied increases. Same thing works the other way. If the price of the product goes down, while all other factors, including cost of production and everything, remains the same, what happens? The profit that you can earn from that product goes down. Supplier is demotivated because his main motive is profits. So as a result, what happens? QS goes down. So price decreases, QS goes down. What does this say? This says there is a direct relationship. Is that okay? Fine. The profitability thing, profit motive. The first reason why you have a direct relationship between price and quantity supply. Okay. Then what's the next reason? The second reason is the law of increasing marginal opportunity cost. Okay, so this is where some people get confused. Guys, remember in unit number 1, we learned increasing opportunity cost. And I tell you that is the more practical thing. So remember, in unit number 1, we learned if you want to produce more and more, right? If you want to produce more and more of a good, what happens? You will have to give up more and more of another good, right? The opportunity cost increases. If you want to produce more, I'll just say more of a good, what happens? The opportunity cost of producing that good increases. No, now if you produce, let's say, the first 10 mobile phones, let's say opportunity cost is 100 loaves of bread. To produce the second 10 mobile phones, now opportunity cost is 120 loaves of bread. Third 10 mobile phones, opportunity cost 150 mobile phones. So every time you increase the production of one good by equal quantities, the opportunity cost of producing it goes up. Then how does this explain the law of supply? So this is saying, right, what is it saying? The producer will only produce more of that good if what happens? If the price increases to cover that increasing opportunity cost. Now, for example, okay, think when the, let's say, okay, when you're producing 10 mobile phones, let's say your opportunity cost is 100 loaves of bread. Okay, when you produce 20 mobile phones, right, let's say you have to sacrifice 250 loaves of bread. That means just to produce this 10, your opportunity cost has now gone to 150. Let's say to produce 30 mobile phones, your opportunity cost is now 400 loaves of bread. So that means to produce this 10, your opportunity cost is now, sorry, let's say 450. Okay, let's take this as, hold on. Okay, let's take this as 450. So now your opportunity cost is 200 loaves of bread. So what is happening? The more and more you produce, your opportunity cost also increases. So therefore, the producer is telling, look here, I will produce more, fine, but I will only produce more if the price increases to cover that opportunity cost. Because to produce the first 10 mobile phones, I had to give up 100. To produce the next 10, I have to give up 200. My opportunity cost has increased now. To produce the next 10, I have to give up 200 mobile phones. It's increasing and increasing. So producer is saying, only if the price increases to cover that opportunity cost, only then I will increase my quantity supply. Otherwise, I won't. See, direct relation. So only if the price increase, the quantity supplied will increase. Because why? The more and more you produce, the opportunity cost increases. So producer, if he wants to produce more, he is saying, give me a higher price. Then no I will produce because I have to sacrifice more and more of my other good if I want to produce more of this. So if you can give me a high price, then fine, I will supply more. Okay, that is the story. So I'll just share the this thing. Yes, so this is law of increasing marginal opportunity cost, right? The additional opportunity cost. I'll just share the note from my theory tute. So for those who don't have a note, you can just get a copy of, just get a screenshot of this. Give me a second. So in my note, this part is supply, determinants of supply, determinants in detail, law of supply. Okay. So this is what you need to explain in this answer, guys. Right? I'm just sharing my theory tute. Okay. So these are the two reasons. One is the profit motive. The other one is the law of increasing marginal opportunity cost. I'm not going to dictate a note. You can get a screenshot of this. If you want, I'll get a screenshot and put it on the slide as well. Okay. Right. So with that, we can move on now. Hold on. So I'll just paste the thing over here, right? So it's there in my slide as well. Is that okay, guys? Manageable for question number 2? Step factors influence the relationship price and QD, price and QS. Okay, so you all need to come up with a nice answer. Done. Then we'll go to the next one. What is meant by prices of other goods that influence the supply of a good? Is what is price of other goods? Now, in demand, when we say price of other goods or price of related goods, we talk about what? Substitutes and complements. When we say price of other goods in supply, what does it mean? What is price of other goods in supply, guys? In supply, what does it mean? No, not raw materials. Raw materials goes under cost of production. So what is price of other goods under supply? Price of other goods, guys, remember, refers to the production substitutes. What are production substitutes? Production substitutes are two goods that can be produced using the same inputs and level of technology. Yes, can you tell me, if I give an example as tea and coffee, is it correct or wrong? I'm saying tea and coffee are production substitutes. What do you all think? I'm saying production substitutes are other goods mean production substitutes. That's two goods that can be produced using the same level of inputs and level of technology. Tea and coffee, is it correct or wrong? It's wrong. Why is it wrong? Think, guys, can you make tea and coffee with the same inputs and same technology? No, right? How you make tea is a whole different process. You have tea pluckers and they pluck the tea and you put it into another thing and you make tea. How do you make coffee? I don't even know. So what are these? These are consumption substitutes. Fine. Right? These are consumption substitutes. But you can't consider this as production substitute. Don't go and write nonsense in your paper. This can't be your thing. Okay. So can you give me two production substitutes, guys? Two goods that can be produced with the same level of inputs and technology. What can you give? This one you can't write. Production substitute. Okay, t-shirts and shirts. Fine. Bread and cake. Okay. Okay, books and A4 paper. Fine. Hockey sticks and bats. Okay. Okay, maybe dairy products, maybe like milk and yogurt, maybe clothes. Right. So I'll give you a better example. What if you take a totally different example now? Most of the examples that you're giving are like consumption substitutes also. So what if, remember the example I took in my this thing, computer and phone? No, right? How you make a computer and how you make a phone is completely different, no? So you can take boat rides and fishing. So if you take boat rides and fishing, what do you need? What are the inputs and you need a boat, you need a driver, right? Drive the boat, and then other small stuff are there like a fishing net, and we'll forget those. So the main inputs you need is a boat and driver. So what are these? Now, are they consumption substitutes? No, boat riding is completely different. Fishing is completely different. So are they consumption substitutes? Not at all, but they are production substitutes. Why? Because both of this can be supplied or can be produced using the same level of technology and the same amount of inputs. Then what happens, guys, when this changes? Now let's assume, right? I want you all to practically think. Guys, is the example fine? What is price of other goods in supply? Fine. that it's a production substitute. What is a production substitute? Two goods that can be produced using the same amount of inputs or the same type of input and the same level of technology. Now let's say you're producing, right, your product is boat rides. Okay, now you are living near the beach, you're supplying boat rides, right? You're taking some nice tourists, right, who come to Sri Lanka these days, you're taking them on boat rides. So let's say the price of the other good, okay, so price of the other good, that is what? Price of the other good, which is fishing, increases. What will you do, guys? Now think. Your product is boat rides, that is what your supply. Okay, so you're taking a tourist on a boat ride and all of that. Now all of a sudden maybe something has happened, everyone likes to eat fish and all. Now fish is very expensive in the country, price of fish is very high. What will you do now, guys? Think and tell me. What are you going to do? Think as a producer now. Think, put yourself in that situation. You have a boat, you're there, you go and you go and take tourists on boat rides and all, right? To boat rides, 1 hour they are giving you, let's say, 1,000 rupees or something. But now let's say all of a sudden fish, the demand has increased and everything. Now if you go fishing for 1 hour, you can catch fish worth, let's say, 5,000 rupees. What are you going to do now? If the price of the other good, which is fishing, increases, what will you do, guys? You will switch to fishing. Why? Because the production substitute, right? Because with your boat and yourself, you can do anything. You would switch to switching. So what can you say, guys? When the price of other goods increase, price of other goods increase, what happens to the supply of the related good? Related good means your good. Supply of the related good increases or decreases? When fishing became expensive, when the price of fishing increased, all the people who were supplying boat rides now switched to fishing. So supply of the related good decreases. Is that clear, guys? You need to know that in that level. Fine. I'll show you all the opposite also and then we'll wrap things up. Okay. So think of the other side, guys. Let's say your good is boat rides. Let's say price of the other good, right, which is fishing, right, let's say it decreases. Now what would happen, guys? Now you're supplying boat rides, your price has not changed, but now let's say there is some disease in the fish or something, no one is buying fish, now price of fish has gone down. Now what do you think will happen in this place, guys? In the area that you are living, people who have boats and everything, what are they going to do when the price of fishing decreases? All of them will switch to your product, right? They will now stop fishing because fishing is not giving a proper price. What are they going to do? They are going to also switch to what? Boat rides, right? So producers who were producing, let's say, who were fishing, right, who were fishing will now switch to boat rides. So what happens, guys? When the price of the related good or price of the other good decreases, of the other good decreases, what happens to the supply of the related good, that is our good? Supply of the related good increases or decreases? Supply of the related good increases. More and more people now supply. Is that clear, guys? You need to know this in detail with proper logic. You can't by heart this. You need to know an example to support your answer. Fine. Yes, can you let me know if that area is okay, if anyone wants any explanation? Okay. So with that, we'll do the next question and we'll do the other question maybe the next class. Okay. So going to the next. For an equilibrium in a free market, the minimum quantity supplied should be less than the maximum quantity demanded. Explain this using a diagram or a case. Right. So this is an interesting question. Okay. So what is the, okay, we'll draw one by one. Okay. If you draw a demand and a supply curve. Let's say this is the demand curve. This is the supply curve. Okay, this is the supply curve. Okay. So what is the minimum quantity supplied? Minimum quantity supplied is right. Hold on, the before one. Is the before one. Okay. Right. So which one is our minimum quantity supplied? Our minimum quantity supplied is this, right? So when the price is 0, how much is the quantity supplied? That's a minimum quantity supply. Then what is our maximum quantity demanded? Maximum quantity demand is when the price is 0, how much is the QD? This one. Okay. What is this green one? This is the minimum quantity supply. What is the pink one? The pink one is the maximum quantity demanded. So in the question they are saying, for an equilibrium in the free market, the minimum quantity supply should be less than the maximum quantity demand. Now just think, right? Just imagine, what if the quantity supplied was like this? What if the supply curve is like this? The minimum quantity supplied is, let's say, 100 units. The maximum quantity demand is only 80 units. So then will there be equilibrium in the market? Now this is not there. This is the supply curve, this is the demand curve. If the minimum quantity supplied is greater than the maximum quantity demanded. Now this is the minimum quantity supplied, guys. Will you have equilibrium? You won't have equilibrium, right? That is what you will draw and explain. There is no big explanation here, guys. So in this question, what you should do is, you should draw a diagram, right? Draw a normal demand and supply. Label this as minimum quantity supplied, maximum quantity demanded. You can say when this is less than this, look here, there is an equilibrium here. But in a situation where, right, maximum quantity demanded should be on the y-axis. No, this is the x-axis. Yes, this is maximum demand price, right? Don't confuse maximum demand price and maximum quantity demanded. This one over here is the maximum demand price. This one that comes with the supply curve like this, that's the minimum supply price, right? Don't confuse that with this. So is that clear, guys? That's what you draw and explain. So there is no big explanation that you have to do here. What you do is, for your diagram itself, they'll give you around 2 to 3 marks, right? For your diagram itself, they're going to give you 2 to 3 marks. So you need to draw the proper diagram and so look here. When the minimum quantity supplied is less than the less than the maximum quantity demanded, there is equilibrium. You can show, look here, the market is at equilibrium at P1. However, if the minimum quantity supplied is greater than the maximum quantity demand, as shown by a curve, let's say S1 in my diagram, then what happens? Then there will not be market equilibrium. So you can say, therefore, for the market to be at equilibrium, what should happen? The minimum quantity supplied should be less than the maximum quantity demanded. So you can label this as S1, you can label this as 0, you can, explain your diagram that way. That is what you need to do. That is 2014, question number 3. So 2014, I think the questions were interesting, right? Not very boring questions also. This one was a very boring one. This one was okay, little boring. This one was interesting, price of other goods. And also this market equilibrium thing here was a bit of a interesting question. So the 2014 question number 4 we'll do in the next class, since the time is also done. Okay. We can wrap it from there. The recordings of this, guys, I'm a little busy these days with the fast track and everything, sorting the registrations and all. When I find some time, I will upload it on YouTube. I need to upload the last session as well, which I have not uploaded. So I'll upload it on YouTube, but I can't guarantee a time. So when it's uploaded, I'll let you all know on the WhatsApp group. Okay. So that is it for today. I'll see most of you all again tomorrow for our motivational session from 6 to 7 p.m. I'll drop a text on that WhatsApp group as well. Okay. So see you and have a nice day. See you guys.